Now we are.
Good.
Okay.
And I have my tongue drum here. If you need any kind of accompaniment.
Well, you can tongue drum the whole time I'm talking if you want.
That kind of sounds weird, Margaret. I was thinking about that.
Should I hit stop?
That might be a whole other show.
Okay. All right. What an intro.
Yeah. There we go.
And speaking of intros, on this sticky, on my agenda, because I do all my agendas on a sticky note. If you like this video, please hit like, subscribe, please comment, and tell a friend, hey, check this out.
Yes.
You'll probably get a laugh and get to hear some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So this is another MAAT session. It is March 2nd, and we'll talk about March here in a few minutes. There's some, I'm not sure how to refer to it, but we'll talk about March in a minute.
Some interesting things happen this year, especially.
It did, yes. So I am Margaret Major, and I'm a registered counseling therapist here at the After Trauma Empowerment Network in Shubenacadie, Nova Scotia. I'm joined with Vida Woodworth, who is co-host and chairperson on our board of directors. Kate Matthews is with us. She's behind the scenes, and she's letting people in and out and monitoring and making sure everything goes smoothly. And we are joined with Natasha Head, aka Tashtoo, amazing poet, author, who has four collections of poetry out, and we're going to talk with Tash, and I know she's got lots of great stuff to share, and we'll learn from her.
Mm-hmm.
So before we do our check-in to see how Vida's week's been and what's new in your world, we'll do our diversity welcome. Okay. So we would like to welcome all men, transgender, non-identified, and transgender individuals here today. Did I say that correctly?
You missed women.
I missed women.
Yes.
Men, women, transgender,
yes,
and other identified individuals here today.
Perfect.
Okay. Hopefully it's not going to be one of those shows. We've had those shows before.
Yes, we have.
In a way, they're kind of therapeutic, though.
They are.
You know, and you've got stuff going on in your world like COVID, and there's
everything
a lot
else
going on in our world right now. It's nice to have a space where Margaret can make mistakes.
And Margaret's okay with doing that.
In the moment. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. I'm sure this one I might miss one too. Okay. We welcome everyone here who is a mother, father, sister, brother, auntie, uncle, son, daughter, grandmother, grandfather, parent, caregiver. Welcome. We welcome people of all races, tribes, and descents. We welcome survivors, victims, and those who support them. We welcome all people single, married, partnered, dating, celibate, or involved in whatever sort of relationship is right for you. We welcome gay, lesbian, bisexual, pansexual, heterosexual, queer, two-spirited, polyamorous, and others for whom none of those current labels fit. We welcome your emotions, your joy, bliss, anger, frustration, sadness, hope, all of your emotions. Welcome. We welcome everyone's special way of understanding and knowing the world. Everyone's wisdom, whether it is education that has been learned in schools, colleges, universities, and or the deep and profound school of life. We welcome mystics, seekers, and believers of all kinds. We welcome people who identify as activists, community leaders, musicians, poets, artists, group members, and those who don't. And finally, we'd like to welcome the ancestors who lived in this land where we are now. Welcome the spirits of Mi'kmaq, the natives who lived in this area before the Europeans came. We'd like to acknowledge them and invite their spirits to this space. Everyone, welcome. And thank you for being here. Thank you for checking this out. And we also want to extend our thanks and gratitude to the Mental Health Foundation of Nova Scotia for their financial support for Project MAAT. Without them, we might not be doing this show right now. So we are always grateful to the Mental Health Foundation of Nova Scotia. Okay. Okay, so let's do a check-in with you, and then I'll talk about
Okay.
March for a minute. The March mistake, we'll call it.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
I don't know what to call it.
We'll see. We'll see what maybe someone else can suggest another.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, check-in. Lots of things going on in the world and, in our own community, in our province, and all around the world. A lot of it is pretty heavy stuff. Yeah. And I think earlier this week, I was having a conversation with a small group of people, and I was just saying how I was really finding what's happening in the Ukraine really harder, I guess, for me to kind of process and to sort of know what I think and feel about it at this point. And I think it's probably been an accumulation of stuff that's been going on over time. And so tonight, I said before we started, I was being really silly. I think it's kind of a response to the seriousness. We have the public inquiry into the mass shooting that's happening now, and a lot of really graphic pieces of information and details and recordings and everything is being made public and being talked about. And absolutely would be so difficult for, the families and the community and anyone who was affected and is being affected by what happened. So, that, and then we had everything that was happening in Ottawa, and then it just kind of goes on. But I guess that's life. I mean, there are things that happen every day in people's worlds that are pretty heavy, and we're not always aware of them in our own little worlds. But, I guess I really tried to remind myself to not overwhelm myself with that information, and to, recognize that, yes, there are things I can do for myself, but also maybe some things I could do to help make a difference in the community, in the world. But also know that there's a limit. So anyway, so one of the things I thought I would share tonight, and the other thing I have to say, and I hope, Kate, you're listening to this, is Montreal has been winning. And I know last night they lost in Winnipeg, but I don't know. I think there's some pretty good potential there, and maybe if they just kind of let the players figure it out and not have the management interfere so much, they might do better. Anyway, but I just thought I had shared with Margaret that during COVID, I had been, because we've all been isolated a lot, I'd been working on something. I've always wanted to try ventriloquism. And because I've had so much time at home, and I think for our regular viewers, you may remember that Margaret and I both, I think, have introduced some finger puppets early on in our podcasts. I have a larger friend that I brought with me tonight, and I just thought I'd do a quick little practice of some of the ventriloquism I've been practicing. And I did some research. The Ventriloquism Society of North America advocates for us to follow all COVID-19 health protocols. So in order to do this little piece, I have to put my mask on. So I hope you'll forgive me. And I'll have to take my glasses off because
The fog.
my glasses fog up and I won't be able to see. So tonight I have brought with
This is
me.
exciting, but
I know. And the little friend that I brought with me is a bit shy tonight. She was very excited about coming, and then now she's kind of resisting a bit. So
oh,
I'll just kind of introduce her, and then maybe she'll say a few words, and then we can move on to
okay.
March, maybe March Madness, we could call it.
We will.
Yeah. Anyway, my little friend is a basset hound, and basset hounds originated in France in the 1600s. And they have long ears that collect the scent when they're sniffing, and that helps them to have an even better sense of smell.
Oh,
And so they were often used for hunting and tracking and so on. My little friend's name is Geneviève.
ooh.
She was named after her great-great-grandmother, who was second in show at the Westminster in
Wow.
the 1990s. Anyway, Geneviève grew up only speaking French. And so she's only going to say a few words because she's still struggling a bit with her English. So are you going to talk to the people, Geneviève? Oui. Bonjour, people. Je m'appelle Geneviève et je habite au Paris. Bonsoir. Bientôt. Well, she said a lot more. Now, I don't know if people were watching me at all because she's so beautiful. But I don't know if you know.
I did look at you, Vida, and I could not see your lips moving at all.
Oh, well.
You did.
Okay.
You did probably the best job I've ever seen.
Okay.
I
Well,
was gonna
maybe
try
we'll
to pronounce that word, and I'm afraid I might ventriloquist there.
There, yes. Well, hopefully, maybe another night she'll come on and practice some of her English as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway.
Thank you for sharing that, Vida.
You're welcome. Now I can get back to seeing and hearing.
You've mastered that that skill and talent.
It was hard for me because I had to learn to do ventriloquism, not just in English, but in French as well. So
yes.
Yeah, that makes it harder. So
it's double the skills you've had to implement
there. Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, that's a bit of silliness for a pretty heavy week and time. So yeah.
Thank you. Laughter is great. Humor is great therapy.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it can make a difference of getting through the day.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you share about your discovery?
Okay. Yes, and I'll be quick because I'm excited to get to Tasha and
yes,
hear about what she's got going on. So yes,
that's right.
How about March Madness mistake?
That's pretty good. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what has happened is lots of people who watch us regularly know that we have a kindfulness calendar. This is our kindfulness calendar. So we had submissions from artists across the province, pieces of artwork that were put together into a kindfulness calendar as a fundraiser. And we did, I would say, an amazing job at selling these as a fundraiser.
Yes.
We had tons of support from people and community, and it was incredible. So I happily have a kindfulness calendar at my home. And yesterday, being March 1st, I flipped up to put on the March page and went, oh, bring it up. I went, oh, St. Patrick's Day is on the 14th this year. Well,
Yes. And I suggest
it doesn't
perhaps,
sound right to me.
no, maybe we should have April Fool's Day on the 14th
On
of
the
March as
14th.
well.
Yes. So in that moment, this is kind of a little bit of how I felt in that moment. I'm just going to share a screen for a second here. Okay. Share sound. We've got our share sound on.
Start. Start.
That just captures it perfectly, I would say.
It was a moment, Vida. I had a moment. Because it's like, what do I do?
Oh, well, and for those of you wondering, that
Oh.
wasn't,
What's going on?
she,
Who's playing music? Hold on. I do.
how did this happen, Margaret? We have a video.
I don't know where that music's coming from.
There is a house.
Is it on your laptop?
Okay. It's auto playing.
It's playing from the YouTube tab.
Hit that, Kate. Look, another March Madness mistake.
Oh, we're gonna get copyrighted, Margaret.
Oh Lord,
How do I turn it off?
Lord, I know.
Go to your YouTube.
Oh.
My
Escape?
mother was a tailor.
Share? I don't want to share.
Escape.
I'm hitting
She
escape.
saw blue jeans.
Although
Click
I
on the,
this song.
You know,
press the space key. Space key.
was
And?
just a gambling man.
Space key.
No, I don't.
Way
What is it?
Space bar. Your space bar.
down in
And then hit stop.
Okay.
and the only thing
There.
Ooh.
Ooh, there. Thank you, Kate.
Now I need to get